Hi everyone, welcome to back the channel. Auto Rush. The TOS-1, often referred to in Western media as the blazing chariot of Russian firepower, is a weapons system that defies traditional classification. It's not quite a tank. Not exactly a rocket artillery system in the conventional sense. And it certainly isn't your standard multiple launch rocket system. It is, in a word, terrifying. And in 2025, Russia's latest iteration of this beast, the TOS-1M, has evolved into something even more fearsome. To understand the significance of the TOS-1 in 2025, we need to revisit its origins. Developed during the final years of the Cold War, the TOS-1 first appeared on the Soviet military radar in the late 1980s. It was built on the chassis of the T-72 tank and equipped with a 24-barrel launcher that could fire thermobaric rockets. The original purpose was grim: to eliminate entrenched enemy forces hidden in caves, bunkers, or urban strongholds. It was a city destroyer, a fortification obliterator, designed not for subtlety but for finality. Fast forward to the modern battlefield, where hybrid warfare, urban operations, and high-intensity conflicts dominate. Russia has continued to refine the TOS-1 into a modern-day juggernaut. The 2025 version, the TOS-1M, comes with upgraded targeting systems, extended-range rockets, improved crew protection, and digitized fire control that allows for more autonomous operation and synergy with other ground and aerial assets. But what makes the TOS-1 truly terrifying isn't just its payload, it's the nature of that payload. The TOS-1 launches thermobaric rockets, which don't rely on explosive fragmentation like conventional warheads. Instead, they disperse a cloud of aerosolized fuel into the air before igniting it with a secondary charge. The result is a massive pressure wave and intense heat that can obliterate anything within a wide radius. Concrete bunkers, armored vehicles, and human bodies alike are simply overpowered. Oxygen is sucked out of enclosed spaces, and the resulting overpressure is lethal even if you're not hit by the fireball itself. The TOS-1's rockets come in two main varieties: the shorter range, high-yield variant and a more recent extended range version, which, as of 2025, can strike targets over 10 kilometers away. This new range might not compare to traditional artillery or missile systems, but remember, the TOS-1 isn't meant to lob shells from the rear. It's a frontline system, designed to roll into contested zones with heavy armor support and obliterate hardened enemy positions. In the 2022-2024 conflicts, particularly in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, the TOS-1 proved to be one of Russia's most psychologically impactful weapons. Footage circulated globally showing the system unleashing its fury on fortified rebel positions. The mushroom-like explosions, the sonic booms, the flattening of buildings, all captured in chilling clarity. Military analysts worldwide began to study this system more closely. NATO, already aware of the TOS-1's capabilities, began reinforcing urban combat doctrines to counter thermobaric threats. The 2025 version, the TOS-1M, features a redesigned launcher that is modular, allowing the vehicle to be adapted for varying mission profiles. Instead of being limited to a 24-tube layout, operators can now load 18, 12, or even 6 rockets depending on the mission and the level of destruction required. The new fire control system is integrated with satellite and drone reconnaissance feeds, meaning the TOS-1M can receive real-time target data without line of sight. This gives it an edge in fast-evolving battle spaces where targets appear and vanish in seconds. Another advancement in the 2025 upgrade is the platform. While earlier TOS-1 systems were mounted on the T-72 chassis, the M version can be mounted on the more modern T-90M or even Armada-based platforms, giving it better mobility, defensive capabilities, and cross-terrain performance. The Russian military has showcased several TOS-1 Mega-2 in Arctic camouflage, operating in extreme cold during Siberian exercises, suggesting that this system is now considered an all-weather, all-terrain assault platform. Mobility and survivability have also improved. The new armored skirts, explosive reactive armor, and active protection systems make the TOS-1M more resilient to enemy fire, especially in high-threat environments. And since it often operates within range of enemy ATGMs and drones, survivability isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Let's talk tactics. The TOS-1M isn't just a fire-and-forget system. It's typically deployed as part of a combined arms assault. A standard operation might include reconnaissance by UAVs or special forces, followed by air and artillery strikes to suppress enemy positions. Then the TOS-1M moves in, escorted by tanks and IFVs, and delivers a concentrated barrage to flatten any remaining defenses. Within minutes, what was once an enemy stronghold becomes a smoking ruin. This tactic is especially effective in urban environments. The TOS-1's ability to cleanse buildings without the need for direct line of sight makes it invaluable in sieges. In fact, during simulated urban combat drills in 2024, Russian commanders demonstrated how a single TOS-1M could render a 6-block enemy-held zone uninhabitable in under 3 minutes. But there's a darker side to this power. Thermobaric weapons, while not explicitly banned under international law, are controversial. Their effects on humans are horrific. The intense pressure wave can cause internal organs to rupture, and the lack of oxygen can result in death by asphyxiation even without external injuries. Because of this, their use in civilian-populated areas is heavily criticized and often seen as a breach of the rules of war. Russia, however, continues to argue that the TOS-1 is a conventional system used against military targets. In 2025, Moscow unveiled a new doctrine that integrates TOS-1M units directly into frontline motor rifle divisions, giving divisional commanders more discretion in their use. This shift reflects a move toward faster, more localized firepower, reducing the need to call in strategic missile forces or long-range artillery. Interestingly, the TOS-1 is one of the few modern weapon systems that blurs the line between tactical support and strategic impact. It's not launching intercontinental missiles or hypersonic gliders. Yet, the psychological and battlefield consequences of its use often have strategic implications. Enemy troops fear the TOS-1. Commanders reposition assets just to avoid its blast zone. Entire operational plans have been rewritten to mitigate the risk of encountering it. In response, several countries have begun developing countermeasures. Ukraine, for instance, began using loitering munitions and drone swarms to target TOS-1 launchers. The US and NATO have studied captured units and are rumored to be working on directed energy weapons or specialized EU jamming tools to disable its fire control. Some reports even suggest the development of smart counter-artillery systems that can detect and neutralize thermobaric warheads in flight, though the feasibility of such a system remains speculative as of 2025. From an engineering standpoint, the TOS-1M is an example of brutal simplicity. No fancy stealth angles, no high-tech camouflage. Just raw steel, power, and explosive fury. Its ruggedness makes it ideal for Russia's vast and often inhospitable terrain, from the snow-covered steppes to the muddy plains and mountainous regions. Maintenance is relatively straightforward, and its parts are interchangeable with other armored units in Russia's inventory. Domestically, the TOS-1 has become something of a symbol in Russia. Footage of it operating is frequently used in propaganda videos, showcasing the might of the Russian ground forces. Its nickname, Buratino, a Russian version of Pinocchio, comes from the long-nosed look of its rocket launcher, but the name belies its true lethality. In the Russian military-industrial complex, the TOS-1 represents a uniquely Russian philosophy: if you can't out-tech your enemies, outburn them. Internationally, demand for the TOS-1 remains strong. Countries like Syria, Iraq, and Kazakhstan have procured earlier versions. In 2025, Serbia signed a controversial arms deal to acquire TOS-1M units, sparking debate within the EU. There are rumors that Venezuela and Iran are also interested, with some speculating that Iran may try to reverse engineer the system for its own regional use. Of course, this proliferation brings risks. In the wrong hands, a system like the TOS-1 can become a terror weapon. Its ability to wipe out densely populated areas in seconds raises the specter of war crimes if not used judiciously. International watchdogs continue to monitor its deployment closely. So, what's next for the TOS-1 platform? Russian defense insiders suggest that work is underway on a drone-compatible variant, essentially a TOS-1 that can operate semi-autonomously or be towed into position by robotic vehicles. There's also talk of miniaturized thermobaric drones, using the same principles but deployed in swarms instead of salvos. Whether these projects see daylight remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the thermobaric concept isn't going away. As 2025 continues, the TOS-1M stands as one of the most feared systems on any battlefield where Russia has a footprint. It isn't elegant, it doesn't whisper through radar, and it doesn't launch precision